Sentinel, any guard or watch stationed for protection. Separable, capable of being disjoined or divided. Separate, to take apart. Separatist, a seceder. Septennial, recurring every 7 years. Sepulchre, a burial place. Sequacious, ready to be led. Sequel, that which follows in consequence of what has previously happened. Sequence, the order in which a number or persons, things, or events follow one another in space or time. Sequent, following in the order of time. Sequester, to cause to withdraw or retire, as from society or public life. Sequestrate, to confiscate. Sergeant, a non-commissioned military officer ranking next above a corporal. Sergeant at arms, an executive officer in legislative bodies who enforces the orders of the presiding officer. Sergeant major, the highest non-commissioned officer in a regiment. Service, any work done for the benefit of another. Serviceable, durable. Servitude, slavery. Severance, separation. Severely, extremely. Sextet, a band of 6 singers or players. Sextuple, multiplied by 6. Sheer, absolute. Shiftless, wanting in resource, energy, or executive ability. Shrewd, characterized by skill and understanding and profiting by circumstances. Shriek, a sharp, shrill outcry or scream caused by agony or terror. Shrinkage, a contraction of any material into less bulk or dimension. Shrivel, to draw or be drawn into wrinkles. Shuffle, a mixing or changing the order of things. Sibilance, a hissing sound. Sibilant, made with a hissing sound. Sibilate, to give a hissing sound to, as in pronouncing the letter S. Sidelong, inclining or tending to one side. Sidereal, pertaining to stars or constellations. Siege, a beleaguerment. Significance, importance. Significant, important, especially as pointing something out. Signification, the meaning conveyed by language, actions, or signs. Similar, bearing resemblance to one another or to something else. Simile, a comparison which directs the mind to the representative object itself. Similitude, similarity. Simplify, to make less complex or difficult. Simulate, imitate. Simultaneous, occurring, done, or existing at the same time. Sinecure, any position having emoluments with few or no duties. Singe, to burn slightly or superficially. Sinister, evil. Sinuosity, the quality of curving in and out. Sinuous, curving in and out. Sinus, an opening or cavity. Siren, a sea nymph described by Homer as dwelling between the island of Circe and Scylla. Sirocco, hot winds from Africa. Sisterhood, a body of sisters united by some bond of sympathy or by a religious vow. Skeptic, one who doubts any statements. Skepticism, the entertainment of doubt concerning something. Skiff, usually a small light boat propelled by oars. Skirmish, desultory fighting between advanced detachments of 2 armies. Sleight, a trick or feat so deftly done that the manner of performance escapes observation. Slight, of a small importance or significance. Slothful, lazy. Sluggard, a person habitually lazy or idle. Sociable, inclined to seek company. Socialism, a theory of civil polity that aims to secure the reconstruction of society. Socialist, one who advocates reconstruction of society by collective ownership of land and capital. Sociology, the philosophical study of society. Soul, the sun. Solace, comfort in grief, trouble, or calamity. Solar, pertaining to the sun. Solder, a fusible alloy used for joining metallic surfaces or margins. Soldier, a person engaged in military service. Solecism, any violation of established rules or customs. Solicitor, one who represents a client in court of justice, an attorney. Solicitude, uneasiness of mind occasioned by desire, anxiety, or fear. Soliloquy, a monologue. Solstice, the time of year when the sun is at its greatest declination. Soluble, capable of being dissolved, as in a fluid. Solvent, having sufficient funds to pay all debts. Somber, gloomy. Somniferous, tending to produce sleep. Somnolence, oppressive drowsiness. Somnolent, sleepy. Sonata, an instrumental composition. Sonnet, a poem of 14 decasyllabic or octosyllabic lines expressing 2 successive phrases. Sonorous, resonant. Soothsayer, one who claims to have supernatural insight or foresight. Sophism, a false argument understood to be such by the reasoner himself and intentionally used to deceive. Sophistical, fallacious. Sophisticate, to deprive of simplicity of mind or manner. Sophistry, reasoning sound in appearance only, especially when designedly deceptive. Soprano, a woman's or boy's voice of high range. Sorcery, witchcraft. Sordid, of degraded character or nature. Souvenir, a token of remembrance. Sparse, thinly diffused. Spartan, exceptionally brave, rigorously severe. Spasmodic, convulsive. Specialize, to assume an individual or specific character or adopt a singular or special course. Specialty, an employment limited to one particular line of work. Specie, a coin or coins of gold, silver, copper, or other metal. Species, a classificatory group of animals or plants subordinate to a genus. Specimen, one of a class of persons or things regarded as representative of the class. Specious, plausible. Spectator, one who beholds or looks on. Spectre, apparition. Spectrum, an image formed by rays of light or other radiant energy. Speculate, to pursue inquiries and form conjectures. Speculator, one who makes an investment that involves a risk of loss, but also a chance of profit. Sphericity, the state or condition of being a sphere. Spheroid, a body having nearly the form of a sphere. Spherometer, an instrument for measuring curvature or radii of spherical surfaces. Spinous, having spines. Spinster, a woman who is never married. Spontaneous, arising from inherent qualities or tendencies without external efficient cause. Sprightly, vivacious. Spurious, not genuine. Squabble, to quarrel. Squalid, having a dirty, mean, poverty-stricken appearance. Squatter, one who settles on land without permission or right. Stagnant, not flowing, said of water, as in a pool. Stagnate, to become dull or inert. Stagnation, the condition of not flowing or not changing. Stagey, having a theatrical manner. Staid, of a steady and sober character. Stallion, an uncastrated male horse, commonly one kept for breeding. Stanchion, a vertical bar or a pair of bars used to confine cattle in a stall. Stanza, a group of rhymed lines, usually forming one of a series of similar divisions in a poem. Statecraft, the art of conducting state affairs. Static, pertaining to or designating bodies at rest or forces in equilibrium. Statics, the branch of mechanics that treats of the relations that subsist among forces in order. Stationary, not moving. Statistician, one who is skilled in collecting and tabulating numerical facts. Statuesque, having the grace, pose, or quietude of a statue. Statuette, a figurine. Stature, the natural height of an animal body. Statute, any authoritatively declared rule, ordinance, decree, or law. Stealth, a concealed manner of acting. Stellar, pertaining to the stars. Steppe, one of the extensive plains in Russia and Siberia. Sterling, genuine. Stifle, to smother. Stigma, a mark of infamy or token of disgrace attaching to a person as the result of evil doing. Stiletto, a small dagger. Stimulant, anything that rouses to activity or to quickened action. Stimulate, to rouse to activity or to quickened action. Stimulus, incentive. Stingy, cheap, unwilling to spend money. Stipend, a definite amount paid at stated periods in compensation for services or as an allowance. Stoicism, the principles or the practice of the Stoics, being very even-tempered in success and failure. Stolid, expressing no power of feeling or perceiving. Strait, a narrow passage of water connecting two larger bodies of water. Stratagem, any clever trick or device for obtaining an advantage. Stratum, a natural or artificial layer, bed, or thickness of any substance or material. Streamlet, rivulet. Stringency, strictness. Stringent, rigid. Stripling, a mere youth. Studious, having or showing devotion to the acquisition of knowledge. Stultify, to give an appearance of foolishness to. Stupendous, of prodigious size, bulk, or degree. Stupor, profound lethargy. Suasion, the act of persuading. Suave, smooth and pleasant in manner. Subacid, somewhat sharp or biting. Subaquatic, being formed or operating under water. Subconscious, being or occurring in the mind but without attendant consciousness or conscious perception. Subjacent, situated directly underneath. Subjection, the act of bringing into a state of submission. Subjugate, to conquer. Subliminal, being beneath the threshold of consciousness. Sublingual, situated beneath the tongue. Submarine, existing, done, or operating beneath the surface of the sea. Submerge, to place or plunge under water. Submergence, the act of submerging. Submersible, capable of being put under water. Submersion, the act of submerging. Submission, a yielding to the power or authority of another. Submittal, the act of submitting. Subordinate, belonging to an inferior order in a classification. Subsequent, following in time. Subservience, the quality, character, or condition of being servilely following another's behests. Subservient, servilely following another's behests. Subside, to relapse into a state of repose and tranquility. Subsist, to be maintained or sustained. Subsistence, sustenance. Substantive, solid. Subtend, to extend opposite to. Subterfuge, evasion. Subterranean, situated or occurring below the surface of the earth. Subtle, discriminating. Subtrahend, that which is to be subtracted. Subversion, an overthrow as from the foundation. Subvert, to bring to ruin. Succeed, to accomplish what is attempted or intended. Success, a favorable or prosperous course or termination of anything attempted. Successful, having reached a high degree of worldly prosperity. Successor, one who or that which takes the place of a predecessor or preceding thing. Succinct, concise. Succulent, juicy. Succumb, to cease to resist. Sufferance, toleration. Sufficiency, an ample or adequate supply. Suffrage, the right or privilege of voting. Suffuse, to cover or fill the surface of. Suggestible, that can be suggested. Suggestive, stimulating to thought or reflection. Summary, an abstract. Sumptuous, rich and costly. Superabundance, an excessive amount. Superadd, to add in addition to what has been added. Superannuate, to become deteriorated or incapacitated by long service. Superb, sumptuously elegant. Supercilious, exhibiting haughty and careless contempt. Superficial, knowing and understanding only the ordinary and the obvious. Superfluity, that part of anything that is in excess of what is needed. Superfluous, being more than is needed. Superheat, to heat to excess. Superintend, to have the charge and direction of, especially of some work or movement. Superintendence, direction and management. Superintendent, one who has the charge and direction of, especially of some work or movement. Superlative, that which is of the highest possible excellence or eminence. Supernatural, caused miraculously or by the immediate exercise of divine power. Supernumerary, superfluous. Supersede, to displace. Supine, lying on the back. Supplant, to take the place of. Supple, easily bent. Supplementary, being an addition to. Supplicant, one who asks humbly and earnestly. Supplicate, to beg. Supposition, conjecture. Suppress, to prevent from being disclosed or punished. Suppressible, capable of being suppressed. Suppression, a forcible putting or keeping down. Supramundane, supernatural. Surcharge, an additional amount charged. Surety, security for payment or performance. Surfeit, to feed to fullness or to satiety. Surmise, to conjecture. Surmount, to overcome by force of will. Surreptitious, clandestine. Surrogate, one who or that which is substituted for or appointed to act in place of another. Surround, to encircle. Surveyor, a land measurer. Susceptibility, a specific capability of feeling or emotion. Susceptible, easily under a specified power or influence. Suspense, uncertainty. Suspension, a hanging from a support, suspicious, inclined to doubt or mistrust. Sustenance, food. Swarthy, having a dark hue, especially a dark or sunburned complexion. Sybarite, a luxurious person. Sycophant, a servile flatterer, especially of those in authority or influence. Syllabic, consisting of that which is uttered in a single vocal impulse. Syllabication, division of words into that which is uttered in a single vocal impulse. Syllable, that which is uttered in a single vocal impulse. Syllabus, outline of a subject, course, lecture, or treatise. Sylph, a slender, graceful young woman or girl. Symmetrical, well balanced. Symmetry, relative proportion and harmony. Sympathetic, having a fellow feeling for or like feelings with another or others. Sympathize, to share the sentiments or mental states of another. Symphonic, characterized by a harmonious or agreeable mingling of sounds. Symphonious, marked by a harmonious or agreeable mingling of sounds. Symphony, a harmonious or agreeable mingling of sounds. Synchronism, simultaneousness. Syndicate, an association of individuals united for the prosecution of some enterprise. Synerisis, the coalescence of two vowels or syllables, as for ever. Synod, an ecclesiastical council. Synonym, a word having the same or almost the same meaning as some other. Synopsis, a syllabus or summary. Systematic, methodical.